Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In my last video, I actually took you through how to create this basic body block, the back part of it. That was part 1 of this video. Now, I told you how to use all these menus to be able to create this back part. In this video, we are going to be creating the front part of our basic body block, also using the Audaces pattern drafting software tools. Now, if that interests you, stay tuned and let's start. So to start, we'll get to the buildings page and then click on the rectangle, just like we did for the back part. You put the half shoulder front by the x-axis and then the full length of the top by the y-axis. And then click anywhere here with your left mouse, and once you drag it, it actually reaches the point. It shows you the line, it has reached the point, and then you drag it down where it will also show you where your 52 centimeters will stop. So click your left and then your right to exit. So now the next thing we need to do is to create the curve. Click by coordinates, and then we're going to put in the distance of the neck. Normally, we are using 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters. So 8 centimeters on the y-axis and 8 centimeters by the x-axis. So that's the x-axis. We've put in our 8 centimeters. You go again, click by coordinate, put in the 8 centimeters by y-axis. And once you click where you want to start it, it also highlights where the 8 centimeters stopped. Click with your left mouse button and release with your right mouse button. So now we are going to come down with the slope, shoulder slope. Shoulder slope, we normally use the 4 centimeters or 1.5 inches. As I am using centimeters, I just want you to know, once you're used to drawing manual patterns, you know that the shoulder is not straight. It has to slope down, and most time the slope down is normally 1.5 inches. So now that is what we are going to be creating, the slope down of the shoulder. I had to repeat the neck curve once again because there was a little problem there. I don't know what happened, but I had to repeat it. So now I've done the shoulder slope. The next thing now is to draw the lines to form the shoulder. So you click on line, draw the line, that is the shoulder. Then click on curve to draw the neck curve for the front. Once you click on where you want to start, you need to click again, and then you click to where you want to stop to actually get the curve. All with your left mouse button. Always remember, left mouse button. So now, we are going to be creating the chest line, and of course the bust line, and this is the y-axis. So from the shoulder down, we create the chest line. You can use either side though. Don't mind that I'm using the side. I'm supposed to use the other side that has to do with the neck to create it. But since I'm coming from the same place, you can always use either side because we are going to square it across to form those lines. So I formed the chest line. The next one is to form the bust line. I also click from shoulder to the bust line, click on it with the left button and release with the right button. So we now have the bust, chest line and the bust line. So we're now going to square across to form the lines. So you click on line, square it across to the other side. and then click right button to release it. Square the second one across to the other side. So we now have our lines, the shoulder, the chest, and the bust line. So I hope that is clear so far. I think it's quite easy enough to follow. Now let's do the measurement of the chest line. So go to manipulation, redefine parameters, put the measurement of the chest line. You put the measurement of the chest line, and once you have done that, let me see. Okay, the measurement is 22. So I've put in 22. You left click on the line, right click on it. You can see now it has shortened to 22. So now we do the same thing for the bust line. My bust circumference divided by 4, 27 centimeters. You click on it, you see it has extended to give you the 27 centimeters. So now that is our curve. That is how we are going to create our curve from the shoulder to the chest line to the bust line. So now let's create the curve from shoulder. Click a little bit, then you click again, click to follow the chest line, follow it, follow the curve up to the bust line. So you can see that our hand curve has come out. Essentially, using digital patterns is for you to just know how to use all the tools. If you've been using any kind of tool, you find out that it's virtually the same principle. It's not so far away. If you've been watching my videos, you'll see that most of them have virtually the same principle on how to use, So, now let's see. I don't know whether to create the armpit to waist length or let me see, or whether to create the dart first. So let me see how I can do armpit to waist. My armpit to waist length is 22 centimeters. So that's it there. And you create that by going by coordinates, put in the 22, and it gives you that value. That is my armpit to waist length. So now let's just draw a line from there to meet the center front line. So that's it, to meet the center front line. So now let's create our line from the armpit to also meet the line there. So let's go by coordinates. In the x-axis, you put in the waist measurement. My waist measurement is normally your waist circumference divided by 4, and that's my own is 24. So that is it. But you notice that the dot is on the second line. We need to get it to the real line. So what we are going to do now, we are going to create a line so that it can intersect at the place we want that line to be, So first, let us form our line up to where it's supposed to be. That is from under the armpit to the waist line. But as I said, that is not where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be up on the upper line. That is where it's supposed to be. So we need to do a manipulation, extend 2 lines, click on the 2 lines you want to intersect. So once you click on it, you see it has intersected. So that is exactly where it is supposed to be. That is how it's supposed to be. So as you can see, if you want to intersect two lines, you want two lines to join together, you just go to manipulation tab and all that, you know. I'm trying to see how to delete this line. I don't know, I'm trying to see how to delete it. Maybe later I'll find out. Okay, just click on your left mouse button twice and then you just delete the line. If you want to delete a line, click on your left mouse button twice and then you can delete the line. So now let's create this nipple to nipple point. Nipple to nipple point. My nipple to nipple point is 20.4 centimeters, but you know that this is half of it, so that will be 10.2 centimeters. So we use the by coordinates and you get that point, and then we draw a line from the shoulder, from the neck drop up to that bust point. That is the bust point. So you draw a line from where the neck starts to the shoulder drop up to that point. And then when you come to the waist, the nipple to nipple, you normally remove 0.5 inches. It will not be the same fall as the nipple to nipple. So once you remove your 0.5 inch, see where the point is. So you now extend that point from the nipple point to where you have this point. And then this line is going to serve as the first dart line. If you've been watching my videos, the way you create your darts, if you're doing your basic body block, that will serve as your first dart line. Now, to get your second dart line, you get the measurement from this point, that is your bust point, to the end of the waist. Write down the measurement, and that's write down the measurement. You see the measurement at the bottom, you write down that measurement, and then the measurement here, this one is 8.9 cm. You write down that measurement. Now you're going to subtract the 8.9 from the measurement you first got, and whatever you get, subtract, as I said, subtract the bust point from the measurement you got from the bust point to the edge of your pattern. And then what we got was 6.6. So from this edge, you're going to measure that 6.6 and you're going to highlight it. That is the second leg of your dart. So if you don't know that formula, just learn it today. If you've been watching my videos, you know that that's the formula I use to be able to get your dart. It's a very easy formula. It works all the time. So now we are going to draw the second dart leg. But you discover that when you're doing that, okay, now first let us get the center of the dart. Let's draw the third leg. That's the center leg of the dart. So first we need to get the measurements between the two legs. Go to conference, go to distance, from one point to the other point, and you see the measurement at the bottom right. You see it right there at the bottom right. Now when you get that measurement, divide it by 2 to be able to get your exact center point, and that's the center point. But you know that the dart legs are supposed to be equal. So we're going to use the very first dart leg. That is the line that formed our bust point. We're going to use that measurement. So go to parameter, click on that line, so I can give you the exact measurement of that line. You see it at the bottom right. That's the exact measurement. Then we are now going to go to manipulation, redefine parameter. We're going to put in that measurement that we got. And that measurement is 24.04. So we're going to click on this center line to be 24.04, as you can see it. Then click also, do the same thing for the other line, you know. So that's it. So that all the legs of the darts will be the same. So what we now have to do now is to join all the dart legs to the waistline. So you start from the first point there, you go to the next point, you now move to the next point, you now move to the next point, you now move to the center front point. And so that is our front dart. That is our front dart. So what I'm going to do, I have to see how I'm going to remove the other line. This line that is at the bottom, I need to see how to remove that line. But first, let's insert alphabets or text, on our pattern. The same way we did for the back pattern, we are going to be inserting all the alphabets. Once you put an alphabet and move your cursor, the alphabet moves with the cursor. So you just place the alphabet where you want it to be on your pattern. It's always good to label all these points, because if you want to use a pattern again to create things, it's easier for you to just know that you're going to shift A to a particular place, or you're going to shift B to a particular place, and so on and so forth. If you're using pattern making books, you discover that they label all these points, because subsequently when you want to use this pattern or adjust it to create other patterns, you will need to adjust all these points. So that is our front basic block and our back basic block. It's quite easy. It didn't take me time to get this done. So what I can see is that it's really easy with Audaces to be able to create the patterns. It's quite easy with Audaces to create these patterns if you want to create them. It's quite easy. It's not so difficult, So try your hands on it and see how it goes. So with this, I have come to the end of this video on how to create the front part of your basic body block using Audaces pattern drafting software. I hope you try your hands on it and then see how it goes.